Hello, my dear friends. Welcome to Tusha's Education Hub. And today we are going to learn about time value of money. In the time value of money, we are going to decode what is meaning and its concept, principal, and interest. What does simple interest and what does compound interest mean? What is the difference between simple interest and compound interest? And phenomenon of compounding and discounting. So let's proceed. Now, what is time value of money? Many a times we had heard that the money today is more valuable than the tomorrow. Now we just think that, for an example, rupees 1000 will be remaining rupees 1000 only if we see it's tomorrow or after 6 months or after 1 year. But in the actuality, the rupee, the value of 1000 decreases as the time goes. uh, Value decreases but the denomination remains same, and we know that the in order to measure something in its value we need to measure its value. So denominations are remaining same, but the value changes as the time goes. For the I would like to also give another example of, the cost of a cinema ticket that our grandfather or its generation used to pay was merely just 5-10 rupees for seeing a movie. And the cost of cinema that our father or mother you or father generation used to pay was just rupees 80, 100 or 150 maximum. But in the today's time, if we go to see the movie, the cost of a ticket is around minimum, bare minimum it would be around 300, 350, and goes on. So now we are able to understand that the value of money changes as the time goes. The value of money depreciates, that is, it decreases its value when the time goes. Now, why does it happens? Firstly, the risk in the future, as the future is very uncertain. So when we are investing money in any of the bank, in any of the financial institution, and for example, if a government security, we many a time say that risk free government securities, but friends, none of the investment in the world is risk free. Even there are the examples in the past that government also declares their insolvency. In such case, what is risk free in such cases? The recent example is Sri Lanka. You might be saying that Sri Lanka is a very small country, so what's a big deal in it? But there is also certain examples of, once Mexico has also declared insolvency. In the past years, even the Russia had also declared insolvency around in 1990s only, when the stock market of Russia was collapsed 75% from its high. It was around, I think, 1995. So there are also certain countries who had declared their insolvency though. So there is none of the investment which is risk free in the nature. So firstly, there is a risk involved in the money. So if we are investing somewhere, they are paying us for taking the risk. For instance, a person doing FD getting interest of around 6 to 8%. So why they are getting? Because there is a risk involved in it. Yes, there is a much lesser risk involved in it, but yes, there is a risk involved in it. The another is opportunity cost. What is opportunity cost? For an instance, I am having rupees 1000. So there are many ways to use that 1000. I can buy a pair of jeans of rupees 1000. I can go to a hotel to stay in it for rupees 1000, and even I can invest 1000 somewhere for getting certain interest. So the cost of sacrificing something, they are paying where we invest, that is opportunity cost. And third one is inflation. As I mentioned in the earlier example, the cost of movie ticket rises day by day. It is not just a cost of movie ticket, it is a cost of everything that rises day by day. In our time, the cost of 1 kg tomato 10 years way back, it was around 5-10 rupees, but today the cost of tomato would be around 25-30 rupees. So what is this? This is inflation. It is nothing else. It is an inflation, that is a rise in the amount on day by day or month on month or year on year. It is known as inflation. Now we understood that what is time value of money? Because the value of money changes as the time changes. Now we will learn about what is principal and the interest. The principal is the amount the person invests in, in certain thing. For an instance, a person investing rupees 1000 in the fixed deposit. So rupees 1000 will be its principal amount, and the person getting return on the invested amount is known as interest. And see here I had mentioned that the person invests rupees 1000 in the fixed deposit of a certain bank at the rate of 6% per annum. That is, the person will get 6% rate of interest on its amount invested. So the after the 1 year, the value of the fixed deposit or the value of such amount will be 1060 rupees, as the 6% is the interest amount. In such case, the principal amount will be 1000 and the interest will be 60 rupees. And in order to calculate future value of a money, one need to add principal amount plus interest earned on such principal invested. Okay. Now, there are two types of interest which are being studied in the education. First one is simple interest. A simple interest is a method of calculating interest on just principal amount that is calculated over a years. It is known as simple interest. In this method, the interest is not calculated on the interest earned on the principal amount. For an instance, uh, uh, I will convey such example in the compound interest, not in simple interest. But being very, in order to keep it very simple, just consider it. The interest earned on the principal amount is known as simple interest, nothing else. And the formula for calculating such is principal into R, that is a rate of interest, and T is equal to time. And what is compound interest? Compound interest is a method of calculating interest which is prevailing in the market, which is practically used in the market. Now, what does this method say is that in the compound interest, the interest is calculated on the principal amount, and if the interest is earned on the principal amount, then the interest of the second term is calculated on principal plus interest earned in the first term, and on such basis the interest of the second term is calculated. Now the interest on the third term will be calculated on principal amount plus interest on first year plus interest on second year, and the rate of interest into the rate of interest. By such method, the interest is calculated for the compound interest for the third term. And the formula for this is amount is equal to P into 1 plus R raised to N. I just forgot to include raise here, but you need to do raised to N. That is a cap on for your. Now, what is difference in simple interest and compound interest? If we do some examples, so here I had quoted an example that a person investing rupees 1000 at the rate of 8% per annum for 3 years. So after the 3 years, if the interest is calculated on simple interest, the person will get 240 rupees as an interest. But if such interest is calculated on the compounded basis, then how it will be calculated that for the first term the person will earn 8% on 1000 rupees, but for the second year the interest will be calculated on 1080 rupees into 8%. Now for the third year, the interest will be calculated on the amount of the second year into 8%. So hence in the long run, the compound interest will be more and it grows exponentially, as many of the great investors in the world also told that the compound interest is the eighth wonder of the world. And one who understand it, they get benefit from it, and one who don't understand it, they need that person pays such compound interest. So let's go further. Now, what is process of compounding? The process of calculating future value from the given present value is known as compounding. For an instance, now see, as I told earlier also, the concept of simple interest is not being used in the practical life. But yes, everywhere the concept of compound interest is being used, whether you consider is an in the banks, in the financial institutions, in the goal planning of an for an amount, whether it is a mutual fund, whether it is a stock market, whether it is an calculation of options and bonds and debentures and so on. everywhere the compound interest concept is being used in the practical world or in the financial world. So what is the phenomenon of compounding? Compounding, as I told, that in the compounding phenomena, the interest is calculated on the principal plus interest. So here is the formula: future value is equal to present value into 1 plus r raised to n. Now here the r stands for rate of interest and n stands for the term of the investment. So here the example I had given: a person investing rupees 1000 at the rate of 8% per interest, and for the 3 years. So how it will be calculated? 1000, that is a present value of money, 1000 into 1 plus 0.08, as the rate of interest is 8%. So it is given in the percentage form, we need to divide it for the calculation. So percentage is just part of 100. A hundred part of something is known as percentage. So hence we need to divide 8 divided by 100, so it will be 0.08 raised to 3. Why 3? Because the amount is being invested for the 8 years. So the amount that person will be getting will be 1259 rupees, that is 1260 if we round off it. So this is called a compounding, and if the such person had been invested in simple interest, then he might be getting 1240, that is 1240 rupees. But due to the compounding, the phenomenon of compounding, that person is getting 20 rupees extra on his investment. Now, what is discounting? In order to calculate the future, in order to calculate the present value from the future value, is known as the principles of the discounting. Now, how such principles of discounting is being calculated? By removing the compounded interest on the future value. As he told that the compound interest is being paid on the amount invested. So in order to know that how much amount I need to invest in order to get certain amount in the future, we can use the principles of discounting. Now, what is its application? For valuing the future cash flows or investment, and its formula is present value is equal to future value that can be divided into 1 plus r raised to n. For an example, a person A wants rupees 10 lakh at the end of the 8 years for buying a car. So how much he need to invest in the fixed deposit that gives 8% interest per year? So a person is planning to buy a car after 8 years, and after 10 years, and that car will cost him rupees 10 lakhs. And but the person doesn't need car today, but he is planning for that how much amount I need to invest, so that at the end of the 10 years I will get rupees 10 lakhs rupees. So in such calculation, we can use the principles of discounting or formulas of discounting, so that we know that how much a person need to invest today in order to get x amount in the future at certain date or at the end of the certain year. So the formula for the same is future value, that is divided by 1 plus r raised to n. So the future value is 10 lakhs rupees, that can be divided into 1 plus 0.08, that is, as the bank fixed deposit pays 8% interest, and that is raised to 10. Why 10? Because a person needs amount at the end of the 10 years, so raised to 10. If you calculate it, the answers come, that is 4,63,193 rupees. So after calculating them, we come to know that if a person needs 10 lakhs at the end of the 10 year, he need to invest 4 lakhs 63,193 rupees in the bank fixed deposit, which gives 8% interest per year. So here the discounting phenomenon used in order to calculate what is the present value for the future cash flow that we want in the future. Thank you. Here's the end of the video. If you like video, you can press like button. If you have any sort of questions, you can comment. Please subscribe my YouTube channel so that you can get regular videos update. Share to your friends and colleagues who also need such concepts and clarity in such concepts. And you can turn on the notification so that when I upload such video, you can get notification, can see to it. Thank you.